I was unplanned, and after years of feeling neglected, I told my family I wished they had given me up for adoption or not had me at all. I was basically an accident. When I was born, my siblings were already 6, 18, 18, 20, and 23 years old, and my parents were both 46. I wasn't abused as a child, but I was definitely ignored, and my whole family seemed to resent me. My parents didn't think they could have another kid, but here I was. No one really took care of me, and I had to figure things out on my own. As a kid, no one spent time with me or played with me. They didn't buy me anything special, just handed down my siblings' clothes and toys. As I grew older, I realized this wasn't normal, so I focused on myself. I thought there was something wrong with me because my siblings were loved, so if I did everything right, maybe they'd accept and love me too. I got the best grades in school. My dad loved football and played in high school, but I loved basketball. Still, I dropped it and took up football just to make him proud. I did all my chores, kept my room spotless, but nothing I did was enough. If I was first in class, my parents would ask why I didn't get a higher score. They ignored my achievements and focused on the small faults. My siblings never let me hang out with them. We celebrated my dad's birthday yesterday, and today I turned 16. My siblings don't live with us anymore, and my mom had to leave early and wouldn't be back until later. So it was just me and Dad for the day. I decided to make him breakfast in bed when he woke up. I cooked and got him a tie for a present. It wasn't the best, but I was on a budget, trying to save for college. I also made lunch and did all the chores. All he managed was a weak thank you, and it was clear he wanted me to leave him alone. So I did. We all went out, siblings included, for dinner, and as usual they had a good time while I sat in the corner. This happened at almost every family dinner. When we got back home, I don't know what triggered it, but I started crying. Maybe it was seeing them so happy together. When they asked what was wrong, I exploded, telling them how I felt about my entire childhood, how they never showed me love or affection. I don't remember everything I said, but I know I ended it by saying I wish they had aborted me or given me up for adoption if they hated me so much. My eldest sister tried to say something, but I just ran to my room, shut the door, and fell asleep listening to some Hans Zimmer because they wouldn't stop knocking. Early this morning, I climbed out my window and went to a secluded spot I often go to, usually to play guitar, pace around, or enjoy the sounds of nature. I'm sitting here now, writing this on my phone at 4:30 a.m., and I don't know what to do. I'm sorry if this sounds like a rant, but this is the first time I've been able to share my childhood with anyone. How do I tackle this problem? I've pretty much given up on my family and spent too much time trying to please them. Should I still try to form a bond with them, or should I completely cut them off? What's the best thing to do here? Now, for the top comments before reading the update, this is tough to deal with. It sounds like the family genuinely wants to change, although actions don't always follow words. I'll keep my fingers crossed for Original Gangster and hope the family sticks to their word and gives that kid some love. He's committed to hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. It's easier said than done, but I absolutely believe this kid will succeed in life. I'm not sure if his family can be genuine after being so cold and neglectful for years. I feel like they have to be wired a certain way. I also call out their excuse that they ignored him because he could function on his own. A child craving attention and approval is heartbroken every time they're ignored. Even if they weren't excited about a new baby, to have no compassion or empathy for him over time is hard to change. I sincerely hope this isn't the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if their response was somewhat performative now that relatives are aware of the neglect. Original poster deserves better. His family should be ashamed. It feels wrong, but I hope they never forgive themselves for treating him so poorly. They knew what they were doing. He said he isn't ready for therapy, but it would benefit him. I hope he tries it someday. Every family member should start intensive individual counseling immediately to figure out what's wrong with them and learn to do better. I'll keep my fingers crossed too. You made good points about seeing the heartache on the kid's face. I'm not a parent, so I didn't think of that. If they were full-blown narcissists, they would have gotten mad at Original Gangster and yelled at him for disrespecting them. But it's impossible to tell from one Reddit post. I think it's all about hope for the kid now. They're strong and will do well in life, with or without their family. Update. First of all, thank you for the overwhelming support. I read all the comments until about midnight, then decided to go home to face my family. When I arrived, the first thing they did was hug me, which surprised me. It was probably the first time in years they showed any affection. They had prepared food, and after I ate, we talked. My oldest nephew, 2 years younger than me, saw the post and showed it to my sister. They all apologized for how they treated me. They confirmed I was an accident, and none of them wanted to deal with another baby, so they started ignoring me because I never seemed to need anything. Their reasoning was that I always did well in life, did my chores on time, kept things neat, got good grades, never complained, and excelled in sports. They assumed I didn't need or want anything from them, so they kept ignoring me. They said this didn't justify their behavior, but they wanted to explain their actions. They said I made it easy for them to ignore me. They asked for my forgiveness and promised to make me feel like part of the family from now on. They wanted to celebrate my birthday, but I was too exhausted, so I went to sleep. I woke up in the evening, played some games, and went back to sleep. I don't know how to feel about this. I've thought about it a lot and decided I'll try to form some kind of bond with them if possible. But my main focus is getting to college. If reconciliation doesn't work out, at least I have a goal to work towards. Thank you for your support. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you again. Top comments. I missed your first post, but I'm really sorry about your situation. No child should go through what you did. With them admitting their fault, I suggest you push for individual and family therapy. Quick rant on one of their comments. I dislike that they tried to justify their behavior. Saying you were easy to ignore is not true. No matter how they try to justify it, you deserved love and attention. Your parents should have given you the love you needed just by virtue of being your parents. You tried to get their attention in positive ways, but it was their selfishness that denied you. Don't take their reasoning to heart. They probably thought, how did we let it get this bad? But then justified it by thinking, if they needed help, we would have given it. It's rude to say they would have done differently if you had acted differently. It shifts the blame from their actions to your behavior. Preach. Of course, they blame you. They're still selfish, rude, and callous. A teen in touch with his feelings pours his heart out, and all they can do is victim blame. If you hadn't been the perfect child, how would they have treated you? Because their love isn't even conditional. Yikes. Story to update. Wife told me someone else is her soulmate. Original post. My wife Emma met her best friend Jack in high school. They became close friends and Jack came out as gay. A year or so later, Jack came out to his parents. They disowned him, and Jack ended up living with Emma and her parents for the rest of high school. Emma and I started dating after college. She told me all about Jack and how close they were. He was like a brother to her. I met Jack, and we got along and became friends. Jack is a good guy. At the time, Jack was dating someone, and they moved in together around the same time Emma and I got engaged. Emma and I have been married for 5 years now. I'm a project manager and took on a year-long project in another city. I have to leave at 5:30 a.m. every morning and get home around 6:30 p.m. Emma and I had a long talk about my job before I took on this project. We knew it would be a sacrifice, but the money was worth it. After this project, we can pay off our student debt and start trying for a baby. We agreed it was worth it since it was only a year. That year will be up in late November. In March, Jack caught his boyfriend cheating. He was devastated, and Emma immediately told him he could move in with us. I was fine with it, but not happy Emma didn't discuss it with me first. Jack was pretty broken up, and Emma gave him lots of love and attention. I was fine with it because I knew how much she loved Jack and he needed her. I also did my best to support him, but as time went on, Emma continued to pour all her attention into Jack. Sometimes I got home from work, and neither of them was there. I found out they went to a movie or dinner together. I don't think anything romantic was happening, but it was annoying to be left out of plans. A few weeks ago, several things happened. The three of us went to a party, and someone joked about Jack being the third wheel. Emma said, "Jack is not the third wheel." I said, "What?" And she replied, "I've known Jack longer than I've known you." A week later, Emma and Jack went out dancing. I had to work the next day, so I stayed home. I woke up at 3 a.m. and found Emma and Jack cuddled on the couch asleep with the TV on. That made me uncomfortable. I realized I had been working so much and letting Emma and Jack plan everything. I hadn't planned a date in a while, so I planned a date for last Friday. Emma was excited as we hadn't been on a date, just the two of us in a while. Friday, I got home at 6:30, and Emma and Jack weren't there. I took a shower and got ready. At 7:15, I finally called Emma since we had reservations at 8. She answered and said they had gone shopping and were getting dinner. I was stunned and asked about our date. She laughed and said, "Oh, I forgot." Oh well. And that was that. She didn't even invite me to join them. A point I should make. My dad was very controlling of my mom and had an anger problem. He never threw things at us, but would yell and throw things around. It was scary as a kid. I've worked hard to not be like him. I've tried never to control Emma or tell her what to do. I also tend to shut down when I get angry. When Emma forgot our date, I was mad but didn't say anything right then. Later that evening, I told her we needed to talk. I wrote down my thoughts to stay focused. I started by saying I loved Jack, and he was always welcome in our home, but I felt our marriage was suffering, and we needed to work on us. Emma blew up. She thought I was attacking Jack. I guess I didn't word things well. She started defending him and attacking me. We've never had a big fight before. We always talk things out. I was stunned she was attacking me. She said some awful things, then said, "Jack is my soulmate and you just have to get used to that." I shut down. I didn't know how to process that. I love Emma more than anything, but at that moment, I realized she loves Jack more than me. I thought Emma and I were soulmates, but hearing her say she considers someone else her soulmate was devastating. I don't remember the rest of the talk. She left after a while and slept on the couch. She and Jack left together on Saturday and were gone most of the day. When they got back, she acted like nothing happened. On Sunday, she made a small joke and batted her eyes at me, something she does when flirting. Normally, I love it, but this time it made me sick. I told her I had a busy week at work and was staying in a hotel near the job site, something I've done a few times before. I haven't seen her since Sunday night. I don't know what to do. Typing this made me realize I'm burned out with all this travel. Maybe I checked out too much and haven't given her enough attention. How do I move forward knowing she will never love me as much as I love her? Minor update. Seeing comments from women who say they have more than one soulmate has given me hope. To me, you only have one soulmate, but that's not a word Emma or I use much. I hope she means it differently than I took it. We've been texting and spoke on the phone last night. It wasn't anything big. She just said she missed me and couldn't wait until I got home. I'll be home tonight. I told her we should talk about our fight last Friday, and she agreed. She said she loves me, and we need to work it out. We'll be talking tonight, and I'll find out where I stand. Full update. I made my first post on Thursday. When I took the time to think and type it all out, I realized how burned out I was with this project. Friday morning, I met with my team and scheduled some time off soon. I'm in a better headspace knowing I have downtime coming. Emma and I had a fight on Friday night. I left on Monday and stayed out of town all week for the project. During that time, we texted daily and talked on the phone a few times. It was awkward because we knew we needed a big talk, but over the phone wasn't the place. Emma texted me Friday and said Jack was gone for the weekend, so we could spend time together and make up for the missed date. I got home Friday evening, and we agreed to talk before doing anything else. I wrote down everything I wanted to say, and she listened. We talked for a long time, going back to clarify things. I'm not going to replay everything we said, just the main points. I told her how I didn't like her joke about me being the third wheel, how much it hurt that she forgot our date, and how crushed I was that she said Jack was her soulmate. There were other small things too. When I was done, she apologized and said she was wrong for saying those things. She said I am not the third wheel, and I am her soulmate. She asked if she could explain why she did and said what she did. When Jack's parents kicked him out in high school, he was in a bad place and considered taking his life. He told Emma's mom, and they got him help. So when Jack called in March about his boyfriend cheating, Emma freaked out, afraid he would hurt himself. She felt she needed him close to keep him safe. I commented on how it seemed like she and Jack were living their best life together for the past 6 months, and she said she had been miserable, on the verge of a nervous breakdown. After our fight, she realized she needed help and let it go. She talked with Jack, and he promised he was stronger than in high school and not thinking about hurting himself. They agreed he should move out, giving Emma and me time to work on us, and so Emma wouldn't obsess over his comings and goings. She wanted to talk to me last Sunday, but I needed time, so she gave me space. It was a long talk with lots of tears. She apologized many times, saying she was so concerned with Jack's mental health that she attacked me, thinking I would make him move out. She acknowledged she hurt me and said she loves me and wants to work on herself to deal with fear and worry healthily. We've never had a big fight before, and we both agreed we could have handled it better. She shouldn't have lashed out, and I shouldn't have shut down. We agreed to start couples counseling to learn how to disagree healthily. We were emotionally drained after the talk, so we ordered food and stayed in, cuddling in bed to watch TV and talk. We missed each other these past months, and it was nice to hold her. The next day, Saturday, we took a day date, went to breakfast, shopping, saw a movie, and got pedicures together. My toes look amazing. Several times she stopped to say she missed me and was sorry she pushed me away. Today, Sunday, we called Jack, who was staying with a friend. He apologized for causing stress, acknowledged he had been focused on himself, and hadn't realized we were struggling. He said he loved us both and was grateful we let him stay during his breakup. He's looking at places and plans to move out in the next week or two. He offered to move out right away, but I'm okay with him staying a bit longer. Having a plan is the most important thing. Our relationship took a hit, but we love each other and are working on it. We set boundaries and agreed to prioritize each other. I have a few more months on this project, but we aim to go on a proper date once a week and reserve cuddle time on weekends. Thank you to everyone who replied or messaged me. I got good advice and hope this experience strengthens our relationship. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.